Welcome back to the channel. So glad we hit 10,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Take a bow. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you all. Thank you for supporting the channel, for leaving your comments, for liking my videos. I really am just, you guys are very close to my heart, and thank you so much. We're going to be talking about XinFin today. Yes, XDC. I've been asked by a lot of you to make content about XDC. The first video here, we're going to actually talk about what XDC is in case there are people out there that have no clue what the hell XinFin is. We're going to break it down for you in today's video, and I'm going to get into a lot of stuff about what's going on in the XDC community and why you should be super, super bullish on XDC. So let's talk about it. What is XDC? That's a great question. Thank you so much. All right, XDC network is a hybrid blockchain, right? You think of it as Ethereum 3.0. It's a fork of Ethereum with JP Morgan's Quorum slapped together, which is sexy, nice, and cool. It is a proof of stake consensus mechanism with XDPOS. These XDC network enables hybrid relay bridges, spontaneous block finality, and interoperability for the blockchain users. It has hybrid architecture that is a developer-friendly in nature. XDC network is using a democratic consensus, and high transparency provides its users and digitization, tokenization, and quick trade transactions. So you see this digitization and tokenization of assets. Well, we talk a lot about on this channel that stocks, bonds, all that stuff is going to be tokenized, but there's also the TradeFi industry, right? Goods and services, right? When you're shipping something across the seas, you have the shipper, you have the receiver, you have the insurance, you have the bank, you have the people on the pier that do the paperwork. There's so much stuff that goes on, and there's so many pieces of paper that get minted and printed over the years because of how much they need to keep up with the trade documents. Some of these trades, when you're shipping a container, it can take up to 27 to 40 different pieces of paper. God forbid you lose one piece of paper, you're done for a couple weeks. And the whole purpose of this is to digitize all of the documents, as well as the trade and the goods. So other people like you and me can offer loans to certain people that need to do in the industry. Like, let's say there's a company that's shipping goods across the seas and they need funds to do something else. Well, they can say, hey, we're going to tokenize the value of this container, and we're going to sell little shares of it and give you some type of return. That you can do stuff like that, but there's so many other use cases inside of XDC. About XDC and XDC Pay, XDC network has a native token called XDC, right? The XDC token is a base utility token for the XDC hybrid blockchain. This token functions as a currency to settle transactions of dApps built on this XDC blockchain. You can buy the token basically anywhere. I did leave a link down in the description for MEXC. I think MEXC does have XDC, but I could be wrong, guys. Don't shoot me in the comments if I'm wrong. But just looking at this too, right? What is the major problems addressed with XDC? I'm gonna leave this in the comments below in the description. So if you guys want to pull this up yourself, but fully democratic, environment friendly, integrated with KYC enforcement, which is really good for banks and institutions, flexible, and it says provisions for regulatory nodes. Guys, if you have the money, 10 million XDC will get you a node on the XDC network. And I do think that node would retire you in the end, right? I'm not a financial advisor, but I do think XDC has a lot of things going for it right now. And we're going to go through a lot of that in the rest of this video. But there's just so much information here, guys. I'll leave this in the description where you guys can take a look at it, all right? But let's get into some sexy updated information. This is from Cypress to Monaco, guys. If you're not following him on Twitter and all those other places, you should. This guy's a great researcher, and I love to play his clips. And he's saying XDC 32 trillion September 2023, the process is being made digitizing supply chains. That's what I was just talking about.
You all are not paying attention to XDC and the XDC network. You need to be. Check this out.
You need to be.
Yesterday, the MPs were considering the remaining stages of the electronic trade documents bill. Well, guess what?
I'm going to show you that bill in a second.
That got passed. Check this out, right? We know that the global trade market is set to reach $32 trillion. That was projected the 13th of December last year. $32 trillion. Let's go even farther. We know that October last year, 2022, Chris Southworth, Secretary General, ICC United Kingdom, said, "This is a game-changing moment for the world of trade, as so much of the global trade operates on English law. This piece of legislation will put a rocket booster under the drive to remove paper and finally bring the global trading system into the 21st century." Check this out. Shout out to Cryptonaire D. Listen to what this...
I'm actually going to play that video myself here, guys. I have that video myself. It's just in one or 2 seconds here. But the bill he's talking about is what they're talking about here. Let me show you
amendments on consideration, third reading.
This is the House of Lords, probably, or House, the Parliament inside of the UK. UK is pushing all of this drive, guys.
Now, the question is that the bill be now read the third time. Minister, Paul Scott.
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I beg to move that the bill be read a third time. Let me take this opportunity to thank all of...
Okay, I'm not going to bore you with the rest of this, but what they're talking about this bill, Electronic Trade Documents Bill, basically digitizing all of the documents. So Chris Sudsworth, the guy that he was talking about, who Cyprus DeMonaco was talking about in that clip, he actually went on to one of these news channels. I couldn't find the clip, unfortunately, but he's saying that just the G7 alone could save $7 trillion a year by digitizing trade documents, right? That is a lot of freaking money, guys. A lot of money, right? And then let me just show you this. This is the clip that he was going to show you, but I'm just going to go ahead and steal his thunder and play it for you myself.
Do you have an estimate of when you think...
Okay, NGO, I'm going to show you NGO later in this video, but NGO is a company that's building on the XDC network that is working on digitizing documents. Not just trade documents, all kinds of documents, but we're really focused on trade documents here, so that is, take that for what we're going to say.
It's going to come into force?
Okay. So she's asking him when is this going to take shape? When are we going to be able to pass this bill and actually start using digital trade? And it's actually looking like it's going to be really close. Here, give me a second.
Again, we are hoping for September. Yes, September. It looks like September if things go as planned. I don't know if you, Carl, or Emanuela or Alex have any other insights into this.
Yeah, it's as far as I'm aware, there is the third reading, which effectively brings it into law, will happen before recess. So it would definitely happen before the end of this session of Parliament. So, and actually, I was with an MP yesterday who sits on the Trade Committee, who's obviously very keen in getting this through as soon as possible. And his view very much was, yes, the final reading will happen within the next couple of weeks. So, to your point, Gunnar, yes, it should be passed with royal assent before recess, which is, I think, mid-July. So,
all right. So right now the bill, guys, is waiting for its consideration and amendments, and then it goes to royal assent, which basically is signed into law by the king. All right. Also, Cyprus DeMonaco, the guy does such good research. I mean, it would take me another hour and a half to dig all this shit up myself, and then I would just kind of be taking his stuff. So I'm just gonna give him the shout out and use his video. All right. That's how gangster I am.
Indonesia, the UK Electronic Trade Documents Act is coming. Are you ready to go paperless? Remember, we talked about this individual right here, Secretary General, ICC United Kingdom, saying this piece of legislation will put rocket boosters under the drive to remove paper and finally bring global featuring a speaker on...
Okay, that's Andre Casterman who he's pointing out to. You need to follow Andre Casterman.
Initiative workshop on the 12th of July, 2023, featuring a speaker, Andre Casterman. Pay attention to detail. Who's Andre Casterman? Zinfin Network secures ex-Swift head of corporate and trade markets and Andre Casterman as an advisor. This is not by coincidence. This is all by design. An individual from the XDC network, Sean White, tweeted out, "We are about to see game-changing utility and use case manifest." These individuals drop gems on a daily basis that people need to pay attention to, like this individual right here, the CIO at Global Payments. Listen to what he says.
So, I do believe this is hopefully the beginning of a new phase for crypto, where the attention is going to turn from speculation to really solving problems that ultimately make things better for us.
The beginning of a new phase for crypto. Very interesting, right? We head over here, Trade Finance Global website. This article came out July 11th, 2023. ISO 222, revolutionizing trade payments with instant settlement via APIs and digital assets. What digital assets do you think they're going to be utilizing? Let me blow your mind. With the advent of ISO 222, a new era of increased efficiency and digitization for trade payments has dawned. Among the innovators in the field, Impel distinguishes itself as a blockchain-based organization dedicated to expanding the possibilities of ISO 222 beyond its conventional messaging capabilities. Through the strategic implementation of APIs and digital assets, Impel offers features such as real-time settlement and continuous accessibility throughout the year. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. As a solution provider built on the XDC network, hold on, what? check this out. If you head over here to the impel.global website and you scroll right here, what does it say? Impel Services offerings run on the XDC network. Mind-blowing, right?
All right, I'm going to show you all this stuff in a second here, guys. All right, and also, too, this is a quick chart or easy cheat sheet for XDC, guys, that it's going to talk to you about the XDC network protection, why it's good, master nodes, gas fees, basically the supporting wallets, circulating supply, all of that information is here, guys, okay? And XDC's market cap is just under 500 million, okay? I do personally think that you could see XDC in the multi-trillion-dollar market cap over the next 5 to 10 years. Obviously, I don't know exactly when all that's going to happen, but I do think it's something to watch. Also, XDC has been working a lot in in Dubai. They are digitizing gold with a company called Comtech, and that's pretty cool. But I mean, the article just talks about XDC a little bit, and I mean, it's nothing really great. But here's Impel, okay? And what do you need to know about Impel? So Impel is redefining the standard for cross-border payments and financial messaging. It's ISO 200 compliant, and they have a bridge from R3, which is a private blockchain company working with the DTCC, but they also are connected to XDC as well as XRP through R3. Okay, I just want to make that clear. And this is Troy Wood, guys. He kind of has this little spiel. I'll just play this for you so you understand it. I'm going to speed it up a little bit, though, because he's a slow-ass talker. I just sped up just a tad. Don't
Impel is a fintech innovator solving complex business problems around the world using blockchain distributed ledger technology. Specifically, our offerings leverage the robustness, speed, security, and low operating cost of the XDC network, a fork of Ethereum, so it's EVM compatible. It is my honor and pleasure to lead our highly important mission and initiatives as we have brought several useful utility offerings to market for payments and instant settlement. My name is Troy Wood, and I'm the CEO and founder of Impel. Our offerings include an ISO 222 compliant API that handles all 733 different data definitions, as well as the 1800 plus older versions too. Our payment rails are a great choice for traditional banks and corporates, as well as other entities like neobanks, banks in emerging markets like North Africa, India, Asia, who cannot afford the older traditional providers. With Impel's API, banks will still use Nostro Vostro accounts, as well as a central banking system to settle at the end of the day. However, if organizations want to take it to the next level, they can enjoy the benefits of instant settlement as digital assets such as Fluent Finance's US Plus stablecoin can be included in the messages payload for settlement within seconds, without the need for traditional Nostro Vostro accounts nor the central banking system.
Okay, XDC is really good because of smart contract functionality. That is really why XDC is like an all-star, okay? And you know, why would you build on Ethereum when it's so expensive and costly when you could build on XDC for like a fraction of the price? And as far as people using the network and operating it, right? Also, too, XDC community, by subnet, we mean a customer can run a private blockchain and checkpoints its critical consensus data to the XDC public parent chain. This is a way, not only has its privacy preserved, but the subnet can also have its own security and resiliency besides those provided by the parent chain. This is particularly useful to enterprise and institution customers who may want to collaborate with untrusted partners but prefer owning their own infrastructure in a private, isolated system, right? And so it says, brace yourself for the launch of XDC's groundbreaking new subnet. Stay tuned for exciting updates and witness the future of the blockchain unfold right in front of your eyes. Right in front of your eyes. All right, let's keep going. Also, SBI, which is Yoshitaka Katal, right? SBI is a very big company. SBI VC Trade has integrated XDC network, creating new opportunities for the network usage and adoption in Japanese markets. That's huge for XDC, guys. There they are, just holding up, hey, we just signed a new deal, rock and roll in Japan, right? And then you have TradeTech. TradeTech is a company also building on the Zinfin network. TradeTech to securitize trade finance receivables on the XDC network blockchain. It says TradeTech, a World Economic Forum member, has selected the XDC network to launch the TRADA tokens, the trade finance-backed fungible security tokens. The move is expected to deliver significant liquidity to the trade finance sector by securitizing a traditionally illiquid asset class on the XDC network, guys. So that's a big freaking deal. And it says this is also to kind of just a recap of information. It says watch the video below with highlights of the event. So they had a big event here. Let me just kind of show you in Dubai. It's all about tokenization, guys. you get the idea. I don't want to waste any more of your time here. All right, let's keep it going. Also, from Cyprus to Moniker, 16 trillion. Considering the collaborative efforts and partnerships discussing in this video, tokenization of illiquid assets becomes a compelling proposition.
XDC holders tap in and pay attention, picking up on pieces of the puzzle. Trade finance, digital asset custody, tokens linked to assets, tokenization of illiquid assets, Standard Charter, SBI, and Monetary Authority of Singapore, TFD initiative. Tap in and pay attention. Standard Charter back in 2022 partnered with SDI for digital asset custody. We've now seen further continuation articles on this. May 10th, 2023, Standard Charter to launch digital asset custody. It is not a coincidence. With who? Zodia Custody. In tandem with who? 2 weeks ago, it announced $36 million funding with SBI. Standard Charter, SBI, right there, right? Moving on. We also see Standard Charter back in 2022 launched trade finance tokenization pilots with who? Monetary Authority of Singapore. To do what? Tokens linked to assets, right? Pay attention to detail. Why is this important? Because also in 2022, the Monetary Authority of Singapore licensed digital asset custodian Propine announced a partnership with Zinfin's XDC network. And what does Propine do? They provide a suite of custodial asset servicing for solutions to accredited and institutional investors. Absolutely massive. These individuals want a level playing field. XDC network also this year in June of 2023, network surges 25% with SBI trade partnership, right? You think it's all a coincidence. It's not. Let me show you how interconnected XDC is to Standard Charter as well, who we already saw was connected to SBI and the Monetary Authority of Singapore. Standard Charter, back in 2019, started the TFD initiative with 14 other banks. And what is this TFD initiative powered by? Trade Tech, whose technology allows bank and institutional investors to connect and interact and transact. That is also massive. Why? Because TradeTech, a technology provider for trade finance and asset distribution, has launched what it says is the first fully ever regulated trade finance backed fungible security token on the XDC blockchain network. That's obviously, of course, outdated news, but it's extremely important. Why? Again, in connection with XDC, we also know that XDC was the first blockchain company to join the global TFD initiative, which again is powered by TradeTech. If you do not know what TradeTech is, we'll get into that in just 1 second. But first, let's head over to xdc.org. Digital assets are here to stay. Who said this? Standard Chartered's global head of trade and working capital. That's absolutely massive. Back to TradeTech. What do they do and why is the XDC partnership with them so important? Well, TradeTech pretty much helps banks and non-bank originators distribute illiquid credit assets. If you don't know what an illiquid credit asset is, go look that up. But do you all remember this article from back in 2022? Tokenization of illiquid assets set to reach 16 trillion by 2030. Absolutely massive. This is why they...
So when you see when you're talking about tokenization of assets, guys, what we're really talking about is having something in the real world, but having a token, a digital token representing it on the blockchain. And those rights move when you sell said token to somebody else. So let's say you had tokenized stock, right? And you sold your stock to somebody else. The rights of the stock in the real world, as well as the digital token, would go to that person. All right, that's basically what we're talking about here, right? But what you do is when you tokenize that value, you're bringing that value onto the ledger. And when you bring that value onto the ledger, like let's say you brought $1 trillion worth of stock or bonds or whatever it is. $1 trillion. That would bring the market cap up $1 trillion because now you have $1 trillion of value now living on that blockchain, right? That represents that tokenized asset, okay? All right, so XDC, the ICC, let me show you this, right? And I shouldn't have separated that. The ICC, let me show you who the ICC is. The ICC is the International Chamber of Commerce, the largest, most representative business organization in the world, all right? It's over 45 million members in 100 countries. That's who the ICC is, all right? And the ICC, check this out. ICC Uniform Customs and Practice for documentary credits for electric presentation, right? The ICC uniforms customs and practice for documentary credits for electronic presentation, the EUCP version 2.1 MLETR, okay? And this is basically talking about XDC, right? And the MLETR, that's what the MLETR stands for. I think it's the Modern Law of Electronic Transferable Records. And that's what they're working on at the UK, in the UK, to pass that. And once they do, a lot of countries are going to adopt that same regulatory framework, so all of this digital trade can go on. There's also other things being built out on the XDC network. Some countries and some ports use all different technology, right? Whether it's a PC or it's Linux or it's a Mac or whatever else, right? And they also use different technology on those said computers. So they're building this technology that interlinks everything together. So if this person's using a different technology on a different brand of computer and then this person, it'll all still talk to each other, and they can look at all of the documentation together and clear it all. So it's a big deal. And then you have XDC global adoption, MEXC, UK trade finance in Thailand. The adoption of MEXC compatible instruments is scaling up, and the additional value is being added to digital flows. It says complete or in progress, right? So these are countries that are adopting the MEXC regulation that are in progress or complete. You have Bahrain, Belize, Kiribati. I have no idea where that is. If you do, tell me down in the comments. Paraguay, Singapore, Abu Dhabi, global market, United Kingdom, France, Thailand. All these countries are moving towards this, right? Because they can not only save money, but they can create more opportunity. They can bring more people into the global market of trade, right? And when you're talking about settling goods, when goods hit the dock, usually that's when somebody pays for those goods, or that's when money needs to clear. And if you're using the old correspondent banking system, sometimes that can take up to 3 to 5 days. Now, if you do one shipment a month, that's 3 days. Let's just use 3 days. 3 days each month. You lose 36 days out of the year. That's a whole nother month that you could be doing more business with, right? So that already would help your company 10, 12, 13% a year just by having digitization of trade. It's a huge deal, and I hope you're paying attention, guys. This is why I feel XDC is as important as XRP. I do think XRP is going to be a much higher value, but when you're talking about use cases, when it comes to XDC, guys, they're all here, right? XRP, XDC, Quant, XLM, in that order. Now, if you're an XLM fan, great. How many use cases have they built out for the XLM token? Answer that down below. All right. Why are they using USDC in some of it? All right. So that's my 4. That's my 4 in a row. That if you're like XLM, XRP first, that's great. I'm happy for you. I hope you do really well with it. I'm an XLM holder. I just think XRP, XDC, and Quant are going to just explode on the scene. It was nice to see XLM pump though. Guys, this has already gone 22 minutes. It's a long video, but if you made it to the end, please tell me down below. I love you for making it to the end of my videos, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I know this is a long one, but there's so much to go over. I hope this helps you better understand XDC, and I will bring updates with XDC as more things happen. All right, guys, thank you so much.